Hello, parents. Mr. Bailey here with the eighth grade U.S. History, and I just wanted to take a few moments here and try to address with you some expectations and maybe a little bit of information about how your students are going to be getting and receiving their assignments over the next few weeks. I've gotten quite a few of you that have sent me questions, and I've tried to address those as soon as they come in. And I encourage you to continue to reach out to me either through the Remind, if you have gone ahead and gotten that set up, or through Edsby, either one. Both of those are good. I will be honest with you, the Remind comes directly to me, and I can reply actually a little bit easier and faster with that. But if you're not on Remind yet, definitely you can reach me via Edsby. Now, speaking of Remind, many, if not all of you, should have received a text invite to go ahead and join Remind. That join was specific to your child's class. And so I would encourage you, again, if you have not gone ahead and done that, please do so, because it is something where I send out reminders to both you and your child when things are posted or things are upcoming or whatever it may be. It's definitely a tool that I use. It does sort of put the information more in your hands. Comes directly via text, or I believe you also have the option of setting it up as an email as well. So again, go ahead. I would encourage you, go ahead and do that. Take a few moments. If you need me to send that information to you again, or you have problems with it, again, Edsby is going to be a great resource and a way for you to do that. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Get that to me, and I'll definitely help you as much as I can. Now, as far as expectations, as far as how the class is going to go, I will be also having a video for the students to let them know what the process is going to be and how we're going to do this. I know for many students, e-learning is completely new. They've never done anything like this before, and it may be difficult sort of make that transition of what we've been doing in class to now what we're going to be doing together online, if you will. So I'm going to do a variety of things. So, I'm going to have videos similar to this for students, where those PowerPoint presentations that we might have done in class, they'll be able to see them, be able to take their notes. I'm also going to have them do some other interactive things online as I pull in different resources. Also, so there's going to be times where they're going to need to access their online textbook and do some reading and answer questions. And so it's going to be a variety of things. I am not going to just simply be saying, okay, go read this, answer questions, because that's boring to you, that's boring to me, and it'll definitely be boring for my students. As far as next week goes, I know a lot of questions and students are worried about, well, what about assignments next week? And when the grades start to count. The plan is to sort of ease into this, to allow your students that opportunity to get used to the pattern, much like we do the first week of school, where we do things a little differently. We do a little bit maybe simpler stuff, and so that people get in the habit and process and all of those things before we really hit the ground hard and hit it hard here and get more in depth or more detailed lessons going. So that's definitely what this week is for, is to make sure everyone has what they need, whether that be laptops, internet access, Edsby, Clever Access, all those things. Definitely this week is the week where we are focused in on that. This is district-wide. So definitely the different assignments I've been posting this week for the students, it's been about some bonus points, just getting them used to those habits of going in and checking their Edsby, looking for the assignments, following the directions on the assignment, replying, posting, interacting with their classmates there. All those things are going to be things they're going to need to do over the next few weeks. And so instead of also having to process new content, wanted to just make simple stuff, like things like, what's the color of awesome sauce is one of the questions that was asked this week. Just something fun and simple, but also teaching them how to navigate through the systems and work out those kinks before we start moving into the content heavy stuff. Now, as far as how they get to their stuff, everything's going to be posted through Edsby. So whether they're going to view a video or whatever their assignment is, all that information is going to come through Edsby. So I wanted to give you a little bit of information on what that looks like for students, sort of the best I can here for you. So I do have a couple, so I'm going to bring up a screen here for you real quick. Just a moment here. All right. All right. And so what you see here is just a sample screen. This actually comes directly from Etsby themselves. And so this just sort of shows you kind of what a student screen would look like. This is going through with a laptop, for example, and a couple of key features. The main one is this recent activity. So this is where when teachers post things into their classes, they're going to see it come up. This is what they call a feed for them. Much like if you have Twitter, for example, or Facebook or something like that, your feed, this is where that information comes through. Now, they can also go into individual classes. They have all their class listings are over here on the left-hand side. They can go into an individual class and they'll have the same kind of thing in the middle. There's a post here in this middle section where it'll list out what their assignment is. They'll have maybe 2-3 steps for an assignment in my class. There may be a link. There may be a document they need to download. Those kinds of things will all be in here. Now, this feed will also have not only an assignment, say Monday's assignment, for example, will be posted on Monday, but it would also have previous work in there as well. So if something happens, let's say your child isn't able to get online for a couple days for whatever reason, maybe they have some other kind of illness or something happens, or things just happen. That information, everything will be here. Now, of course, since they're going through this, if they have questions or they're like, what did I miss? Obviously, you or them can simply ask me. Again, they can either send me a message, which would be up right up here in this section, or they can also set up with Remind as well and send me a message through that. Now, there is a, in each class period, there's a different Remind link, and there's what's called a pinned post in there. They'll see there and for them to join so that they're getting messages. If something's a little different for my first period class versus my sixth period class, that way they're getting the correct information. And so they can reach out to me that way as well. Also, there's an option, there's a calendar here on the right-hand side for the students where they can see that, oh, they've got this project, or this is for all their classes, though it's not just my class, all their classes. When the assignments are put in with due dates will appear over here as well. Now you can, if you're not familiar, you can click on an individual class. They can go into my work, they can see their averages, and all of those things as well. So hope that helps answer some of your questions of what they should be looking for and how they need to be accessing their information. Now, I have gotten a number of questions on when assignments will be posted. So my goal for this is to have assignments ready in the morning of when I would want them to begin working on them. So for example, if I want students to be working on something on Monday, the goal would be to have it available by 9:30, which is when school basically starts, by 9:30 in the morning on Monday. Now that assignment may not be due until Tuesday or depending on what it is, different day, but the date that I would like for them to start working on is the day that it'll be posted. Now that doesn't mean that other things will not get posted throughout the day as well. So I'd encourage you to, definitely check in that morning time period, but also look to see if there's ways just to check and see in the afternoon. Now, I'm not going to be posting additional assignments in the afternoons, but I may have some additional resources, or if things come up, or if I want something fun and entertaining, whatever it may be, something just different, those kinds of postings will also be there as well, because I know this is hard and I recognize that this is not what your students are used to. And so I want to try to balance both the academic side of this and just keeping them engaged and meeting them where they are with this. So hopefully, again, that helps to answer some of your questions or concerns on how this process is going to work for your child. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Um, and we can either do something like this where we could have a live chat. I also have options where I could give you a phone call. We can just do text, messaging, any of those I am comfortable with. And they are all just as good for me. So also one other thing I forgot to mention, the live meetings or chats like this is something that I plan on utilizing some with the students so that they have a variety of options, because I know some of them like to see others. They like to be able to interact, ask questions of me in the moment. So there will be times where I'm going to be hosting those sort of live sessions. You may also hear me call them collaboratives. If you've ever done virtual school, that's the name they have for them. So I'll be doing those periodically as well, particularly when it comes to types of review. So when we complete a section or a unit, definitely we'll have those live options. And if your student misses those, I will be recording them just like I am this one, and be able to post it so they can still catch all that information. So again, I hope this is helpful to you. And again, I can't say this enough. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns about not only my class, but any of your students' classes. If things seem confusing or you don't understand what's going on or any of that, I am here for you. I'm here to help you and your student as we work through this together. I do hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to you later.